Hi, I'm Pete, and welcome to Just a Few Acres Farm. What a beautiful morning it is. Nice and cool, dew on the ground. Got my coffee, just wandering around looking at everything. Well, I wanted to say howdy cows, but it appears they're down over the hill. Eating, of course. So I'll say hello to the flies instead. Ugh, yuck. There's an angry robin up there someplace. I must be under her nest. Howdy chickens, it's rush hour at the nesting boxes. You look broody. You look broody too. Let me in. Howdy pile of New York State DOT item 4 gravel. Nice to see ya. Howdy Titus. Hi Orden. They're getting their breakfast. Howdy H. Howdy Baylor. Howdy little piggers. Howdy, Mom. I got some things to do with you guys today, and some of you are not going to like it very much, but you're going to get new bedding out of the deal. Howdy, Fence Charger. He always just blinks at me. We got to take a little road trip this morning, but before we do that, I wanted to show you the bale wagon. It's all painted, and I read all the comments on the last video. I took them all into account, and this is how I wound up. I think the color is perfect, don't you? It's so vivid. Shiny. All right, let's quit screwing around and get going here. I gotta go pick up some beef in the blue battle wagon.
I think there's like 15,000 pounds of ground beef in there right now.
Holy cow. $16 boxes of beef back. One heifer dressed at $375, one steer at $400. That's pretty good for our little Dexters. Ground beef, 1 pound packs. Chuck roast, Boston roast, brisket, short ribs, rib steaks, sirloin steaks, porterhouse steaks, T-bone steaks, bear broth bones or dog bones, skirt steaks, stew meat, flank steaks, suet, liver, tongue, oxtail, heart, hanging tender, also known as the butcher steak, eye round roast, tri-tip steaks, and that's it. I don't know if I got all the cuts. There might have been some other ones that are buried in the boxes of different types. But out of the 16, 5 in ground beef, 2 in organ meat, liver, heart, tongue, suet, broth bones, and then probably out of the 16 boxes, I got 2 to 3 boxes of what we would call premium steaks, rib steaks or rib eyes, T-bones, porterhouses, and sirloins. And I am very excited to be selling beef at market this weekend. What is she doing? Red's pen is getting a cleaning courtesy of Hillary. Red's gonna have to move sooner or later.
It may have a red tape, not trouble spot.
When we had that hot stretch, we wound up watering down Red, a couple times a day because she would get hot and her bedding gets soaked. And it's actually kind of a good thing because then the bedding stays cool as she lays on it. And now we're in a cooler stretch, so it's getting cleaned out, and we need clean bedding for the piglets to do our work with them. Do you have anything to say on your husband making you clean out pig pens?
I didn't sign up for this.
And I didn't make you do it either, did I?
No.
The piglets are saying, Mom, open up the store.
Yeah, she's not having it.
Oh, Red's up being chased by piglets. Give us a drink. Watch out, guys. It's all spread out here. There you go, you little buggers. You can check out the new bedding now. You got a little blood around your eye. How'd that happen? These guys are turning into little chunks. Really porking up. All right, let's tend to this wagon now. I think I decided what color I would like it to be. There, red. Of course red. What else could it be? I got the ribs all painted up, so we'll put the wheels back on here. Of course, the wheel bolts always get marked up. You know, it's the way paint is. And this John Deere yellow, it just doesn't hold up like the red. Inferior. I just got to grease it and then she'll be ready for use. I painted this trailer using Martin Senor paint from Napa, the same as I used on the MD tractor, International Harvester Red. And it's got new tires all around and new wheel bearings, new wheel bearing seals. The old ones were shot. Dad, of course, built this frame out of channel steel, and it should last me a long time. Probably longer than I'll last. It's on John Deere running gear, but the running gear is running in disguise. I painted it the right color. And this thing took a lot of paint and a lot of time. I put a gallon of primer on it and a gallon and a half of top coat. It was a big job. I don't want to do this again for a while. We got to go out here for the next job. Ooh, ripe black caps. It's always nice to get a snack on the way. No, that wasn't the job I was going to do. It's just a bonus. All my fly traps are nasty, nasty full. Ugh, boy does it stink. I close them up so the flies suffocate, and then tomorrow I'll do the dumping. That is nastiness, sheer nastiness. I put this one in full sun, but I'm ending this experiment. It didn't catch really any better than the ones by the water trough. The water trough is the place to be. So we're going to take it down, move it over there, and put some water in it. It needs water. Huey, it sure does stink around here. I guess that's good. I don't like it very much. Put this one up. Look at them all buzzing around here. They're still getting stuck on the fly paper, but it's getting kind of full. I still got garlic salt out for them, and they're eating it. I'm not sure that it's doing anything. I mean, the jars, I can see that they're catching a lot. As far as the garlic repelling the flies, I don't know. You know, the kettle still got a lot of flies on them. It just all depends on the time of day. Morning and evening, not many. During the heat of the day, they got more. I don't know. Really hard to tell. It is gratifying, though, killing all these little buggers. At least I think I'm doing something with that. As far as these glue sheets go, my advice is don't waste your money on them. Dollar for dollar, you catch a lot more flies with the jar traps. But I bought a case of them, so I'm using them up. They do catch some. In recent news, police confirmed that a man who fell from the 15th floor of a nightclub was not a bouncer. Jokes so bad, they're bad. They make you want to eat a blackberry or two. Black raspberry, I should say. How did I ever get roped into telling jokes for a living? I'll never know. Are you ready to do this, Hill?
Yep, let's get her done.
I don't know if I'm ever ready to do this, but it has to be done. Hiya, little ones. What are you goofballs doing? We gotta let Mom out. Hey, Red. Go for a stroll. Come on, Red. Come on, Mom. Let's go. We're gonna go for a stroll, okay? There you go. Come on. Here you go. Red. Come on. You go do the meet and greet with everybody. John the boar. Hi, Red. Piggies, you stay back. You gotta move your butt, move your buns. You got little piggies in here. All right, Red. What? You're gonna do a little walkabout, huh? Oh, that's just nasty. Come on, no. Don't eat that. That is gross. That's gross. Come on. Ah, she ate the whole thing. Come on, Red.
Those cow flops must be good eating.
Yuck. That is just nasty, Red. Come on, let's go. You can't rush a pig, especially when they're this big. Let's go. How'd you eat that stuff? Come on, let's go. Red, you're gonna dig the chine in here. How about this? How about some grain? What are you gonna do if a 500-pound sow wants to linger? I guess we let her linger. Well, it appears that Red doesn't want to go into the fourth pen, so we've got an alternate method for catching piglets. Are you ready for all heck to break loose? It's an unfortunate but necessary thing. With this method, she's outside, we catch the piglets in here, Hillary's going to put them in the bin here in the next pen, and then as soon as I get the males out, then we let her back into the pen with the females and we go out with the crate. We've done it quite a few times this way before when all 4 pens are full of pigs. So here we go.
That's a boar right there.
The blackie?
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. The brown one is, I think.
You're a boy. You're a girl. This is Blue Coat, a non-toxic spray that's a fungicide and antibacterial that happens to be good for marking the females. 2 more. You're a boy. You're marked and you're a girl. Well, I know.
She's very mad about that.
So we had 4 males and 4 females here. And then we let Mom back in. Watch out, guys. You gotta move it. You gotta move. Move. Come on. Go. Mom wants to come in, of course. There you go, Red. Now we got Mom in the pen.
Oh, you didn't give me a wet willy.
Then we take them to the shop here and do the castration. And 5 minutes later, they're all done. Put them back in with Mom. All right, little guys. There Everybody's reunited. It seems this is a bad week to be a male on our farm. Some FAQs about piglet castration. We do it at about 2 weeks old when they're still easy to handle. Hillary sits in a chair with the pig between her legs and I do the castration. I have an old video on it if you care to see the gory details. I would rather not show it here. We do it because of the risk, well, 2 reasons. The risk of boar taint, which from what I've read affects about 15% of male pigs when they go to slaughter. It's an awful smell in the meat caused by hormones, and removing the testicles eliminates that possibility. The other thing is these pigs will be about 6 months old when they go to the butcher, and I've seen pigs breeding at as young as 4 months. So if you don't castrate them, then you run the risk of some of the females going to the butcher in the batch pregnant from the non-castrated males. It's not a fun procedure, but it's a necessary thing, and once you do it for quite a while or do it many times, it doesn't take very long. Like I said, it took us about 5 minutes, real easy. The piglets are up and around right away, and they do all right. I mean, we've never had any complications from doing this. Just one of those things, you know, living on a farm, you gotta do. So the piglets will be in with mom for about another 4 weeks, and we'll wean them off at 6 weeks old. And they'll be going into this brush lot here where they have some shade from the summer heat, and they got lots of stuff to dig through. This lot goes all the way back in front of the solar panels there. It's quite large. They'll have plenty of stuff to dig up and goodies to find. And then they'll go off to the butcher, I think, right before Christmas, the end of December. Holy cow, look at how many flies this caught in just a few hours. Wow! Holy Christmas! Look at that! Let's go and see the cattle. Where did they go? They must be down over the hill. How are you guys doing? I know, Patty. The union rep's got to have her say. You guys are all hanging out down here. But there isn't much left to eat in here, is there? 2205, how are you? Hey, little one. Here he goes. There's his mom. What have we here? We have a brand new calf. Hey, little one, umbilical cord is still fresh. Whose calf is that? Are you a boy or a girl? You're a girl. Good for you. Well, we'll start. Oh, I was going to say we're going to start looking at the moms, but Carrie, it's Carrie's calf. She must have just had her. Carrie's the oldest cow in our herd. She's about 15 years old. And she still has a calf every year, but this may be her last calf. She's got a bad hip. I want to talk about our pasture here because we're at the end of it. I mean, you can see this is all trample here, and it's starting to die off. This is seed heads that have been trampled, and then you've got a little bit of standing stuff here that is gradually getting knocked down. And it's about time to pull the cows off of this field. And we're definitely in the summer slowdown for grass growth. It's been relatively dry compared to usual. This is the last 5 acres of pasture. I think what I'm going to do with this is, it ain't worth making hay off of. It would really be kind of crappy hay. And I'm going to clip it with the sickle bar mower and leave it lay and let it feed the soil. It'll help insulate the soil during the dry months here, and it'll ultimately lead to better growing conditions for plants down the road. It just means that I won't be making hay off of it this year, this field alone, because once you've got that residue on the ground, if you cut it for hay after regrowth, you're going to wind up picking all that up, and that'll be pretty crappy hay too. About 5 days ago, I made hay off of 10 acres, 3 small fields, including this one behind me, that had each been grazed 3 times. And here's the downfall of the new grazing system I'm trying this year. When you get this far into June, the beginning of July, the hay you're pulling off of a grazed pasture is really crappy hay. It's yellow seed heads, and you don't get very much. I got 6 bales off of 10, no, 6.5 bales off of 10 acres of stuff that's, you know, it dried down okay, but it just doesn't have the nutrition in it that an earlier cutting would have. So this is the minus to the pro of putting cattle on open field grazing. And now we're down to just the 5 acres, which isn't even worth making hay off of. It's better to cut and leave on the ground to feed the soil. We're in the summer stall for pasture growth. Grass just really slows down when it gets this dry, and it's not uncommon for us to start supplementing with hay, which is what we started doing yesterday. And probably tomorrow I'm going to pull the cattle off that field and clip that field. And they're going to be on hay here for a while until my first cut fields come back, which it all depends on the weather. Could be a week if we get any rainfall coming, although there's very little in the forecast. Now you may say, well, why did you cut so much hay then? Why didn't you leave more pasture in pasture to keep the cows eating? It's because the other pasture started looking like this, and you want to get the stuff that's gone to seed off the pasture so that regrowth starts. The plant's stimulated to regrow, and you wind up with more overall volume through the season and better forage quality for the cattle. The downside is you wind up feeding hay, and one of the reasons that we have to do this is because, like I've said quite a few times, our herd is too big for the amount of acreage we have. We have about 30 acres in combined grazing and hay ground, and we have about 30 head, including yearlings and calves, and we want to get down to 24 to 27 trios, which is 7 or 8 trios, cow, calf, and yearling. And I'm seeking for that balance where we can make all of our own hay and feed the cattle just off of our own land. I like the self-sufficiency aspect of that. So here we are on the line between what I call first cut pasturing and second cut pasturing. All this time up till now we've been working on to first cutting and grazing that spring flush of growth, and now we're waiting for the second cut to come on so we can start the cattle back through the rotation. It's an interesting experiment. I've seen good gains in our cattle. We've had good calves. So we'll probably continue this for the rest of the season and keep evaluating as we go. But again, the weather is such a variable. No 2 years are the same. It makes it a real art to evaluate one system versus the other. That's my video today. We've been all around the farm, got a lot of stuff done, seen a lot of things. I think I might have beef for dinner tonight. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you next time.